everybody, it's me Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and I'm here today to guide you through an upper body focus where we're gonna really be prioritizing our shoulders, our chest, and our back. Tabata HIIT class. We're gonna change up the format for today's class. So instead of going with a traditional Tabata set, which would be 20 seconds of work and 10 seconds of rest, the same exercise for 8 rounds, we're gonna work in 2 different sets within 20, 20, 40, 20, 20, 40, and we'll have 2 exercises that we're mixing off. So for the 40-second interval, we'll be able to mix up the exercise. For example, first up we have bicep curls, and then the B move is going to be the Arnold press. And then for our 40-second move, we're gonna do our bicep curls with the Arnold press. It's gonna be awesome. I'm going to do the entire class today on the floor. So even for these upper body moves that would normally be standing, I'm gonna take them from a kneeling position. Not because my ankle is still incredibly janky, it's a little weird, but just because I really want to focus on form, and I want you guys to focus on form as well. So think about the weights that you're using. I know that we're all a little limited in what we have at home. Hopefully you have something that you can work with, even if it's just a can. You're better off using a lighter weight and focusing on really engaging your musculature as much as possible than using a really heavy weight, in which case your form might be off or you might find some overarching of the back, which is why we're going to be on the knees to really make sure that we are going to be engaging those glutes as much as possible, pulling that belly in and taking that extra overarch out of our back that sometimes can happen when we're doing these overhead presses, because we've got a lot of overhead work today. I have quite the variety of random weights. Are any of them ideal? Maybe not, but I'm gonna go all the way from 3 pounds. If I had a second 1 pound weight, I'd honestly use that towards the end of today's workout, up to I have 1 10-pound weight. So gather whatever supplies that you have. Definitely make sure that you have some water. If you have music, put on that music just to keep your personal energy high. And put a smile on your face, because I really think it's true that if you're not having fun, your workout's not going to be effective at all. So you're ready to have a great time. We start in 2 minutes. Something smells like burning, but it's not my apartment, so good times. All right, I'm just gonna bring my computer with me today for the different timer that I'm using for today's class. Smells like someone is smoking cigarettes while somehow hovering right outside of my window. I live on the 2nd floor. It's pretty gross. Pretty gross. I'm gonna spray a little delightful air freshener just to notice that a little less. Welcome to the party. Which weights are you going to use, little dude? All right, it is 4:30. I'm so happy to be here and so glad that you guys can find this time for yourself to join me for an awesome upper body focused HIIT workout. So again, this is a great workout for anyone else who, like me, might be overcoming some lower body issues. I'm going to be demoing all of the modifications, but I'm going to tell you about the more challenging things you can do once we get to the point of the workout where there are possibility for planks. But there's no jumping in today's workout. The intensity is going to be high, but the pace is going to be pretty slow. All right, so let's start off with just like a nice little warm up. We're even going to start right down here on the mat. So why not just send your hips back to your heels? We'll even start just stretching those shoulders very gently with a little bit of child's pose. I want you to take this time to start to really notice your breath. Because breath is so important for our workouts, both for yoga and for this HIIT workout today. I want you to make sure that you are breathing as deeply as possible, all the way down to the bottom of your diaphragm, not just big breaths at the top of your chest. Go ahead, press yourself up into tabletop. Make sure those hands, palms are underneath of your chest, shoulders, and hips underneath of your knees. We're just going to give ourselves a little cat-cow right here. Start to wake up the body. Start to apply some pressure into your hands, palms as well. We're really going to warm up those wrists a little bit today. But for now, you're focusing on finding some real manipulation of the spine. After you've done a couple cat-cows here, really pulling your chin forward and up towards the ceiling, and then tucking your chin towards the chest, getting that upper body and back involved. Feel free to shake your tail a little bit, finding the movement that feels best and works well for you, because only you know what stretches your body really needs right now. So feel free to take that time right this second to find whatever interesting, weird stretch it is that you think you need, just in case we don't get into it. All right, so let's come back into these nice, delightful wrist stretches that we're going to do. I want you to go ahead and let's turn our palms over. So the back of the hands press down into the mat. So starting off with them once again underneath of the shoulders, and the backs of the fingers are on the floor, and you're just going to exhale, bring your hips towards your heels, find that nice stretch, and inhale, you can come back towards your tabletop. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale, bring it up. Can you relax those shoulders away from your ears? I noticed that I had mine as some beautiful earrings, the only kind of earrings I ever really wear. My shoulders. Awesome. Let's go one more time. Stretch it back and hold it for just a little bit longer. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Go ahead. Peel those hands off the floor. Make some circles with your wrists, even opening and closing your fists a little bit. Just warming up those hands, and we are getting a nice little stretch on our legs and those ankles right now. If you're joining me in kneeling position, switch the circle direction of those wrists. Awesome. Go ahead, stretch your hand palm out in front of you, fingers pointing up towards the ceiling. Just flex them back towards your face. Press through that hand palm. Take a moment to really knit your rib cage together right now. And relax those shoulders down away from your ears, still pressing forward through the hand palm, back engaged. And switch, other hand. Awesome. Let's come on back to tabletop. This time I want you to face your fingers towards each other on the mat. And you're just going to shift a little bit left and right, right and left. One more opportunity to kind of shake your tail and just find a little bit more stretching of your wrists and forearms. Awesome. So just a quick little warm up today. We're really going to start getting a lot warmer as we start moving through today's workout. All right, so let me tell you what's coming up first. If you were here early, you heard me talking about it before class got started. We've got a bicep curl and we have an Arnold press. And remember, we're doing today's sets a little bit differently. So for 20 seconds, we're going to do the bicep curl. For 20 seconds, you're going to do the Arnold press, and then we're going to have a 40-second interval where you add together the bicep curl, and the Arnold press is starting right here with your elbows by your side, your hands by your shoulders. You're going to stretch up and turn your wrist forward, and then bring them back down. I'm going to do that today right here on my knees on the floor, really focusing on engaging, squeezing the glutes, a little tuck under of the pelvis. If you're fully standing, just make sure you're not locking your knees out. You don't have any extra overarching of your back, especially while you're pressing this weight up towards the ceiling. All right, so we've just got 6 rounds instead of 8, still the same amount of time being worked, just slightly changing the interval. Let's get ready. Start those bicep curls nice and slow. Up for 2 and down for 2 in 3, 2, 1. Begin. Here we go. So elbows stay close by your side. You're moving nice and slow with intention here. So it's not about how many reps you can get in. I want you to feel a constant tension, both on the up and down. No swinging. That's what today's all about. No swinging of the weights, really being in control. Take a break. All right, first 10-second break. Next up, we have that Arnold press in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So belly tight, press up overhead, turn your wrists forward and back down. So you're turning those wrists in the air. Maybe your arms come out nice and wide and then come back in tight. Think about really squeezing those shoulder blades towards each other. Your back is engaged and you're pressing all the way up through your knuckles. Take a break. So make sure you don't stop halfway on that Arnold press. This time we're going to put it all together. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So bicep curl and then stretch up to that Arnold press. Bring it back in nice and tight and slowly lower down. Keep that chin neutral to your chest. Once you've really got the motion and you're sure that you're not swinging the weights and you're finding true extension all the way at the top, pressing through those knuckles, maybe you'll go a little bit faster. You got 15 seconds left right here. Then we're gonna take a 20-second break. You're welcome. And come back into those bicep curls. I know, we're getting through set number 1 and you're like, this is easy. Take a break. But we're really gonna work those shoulders big time today. I promise. All right, big break right now. Roll it out a little if you need to. Come back to those big deep breaths. We start again in 5 seconds. Back to those bicep curls. Keep those elbows in close, glutes squeezed, stomach in, begin. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Now you know if you're really engaging your bicep. And if you don't understand what that means, let me know. Reach out and I will help you figure out how to get into that. Take a break. Anyone can go like this. Anyone can also go like this with no weights and get that same engagement, really feeling muscles fire up. Come into that Arnold press. Might even feel your obliques, your abs starting to work here with those arms stretching up over your head. You really have to engage a little bit more. Press through those knuckles. All right, so we got one more set coming up. Last time through of this move with the bicep curl into the overhead press. 3, 2, begin. So just a nice little hello body, warming up that upper body with set number 1. Next up, we're gonna do some halos. We're gonna add in a ventral raise with the tricep extension. A lot of the moves that we're doing today, we're hitting those body parts multiple times. So hopefully by the end of the workout or tomorrow, you will feel this. And you'll be so glad you came. I'm so happy that you're here. Whatever time of day it is for you, put a smile on your face. It's gonna be a good one. All right. Great work, you guys. Feel free to grab a quick sip of water if you want. We're gonna keep the breaks between moves pretty fast. I'm just gonna go right into telling you what's coming up next. So you're gonna look for a heavier weight if you've got one. Next up, we're gonna do a halo, and then we're gonna follow it by a ventral raise and a tricep press. What I really want you to think about during this halo is stretching those elbows up as much as possible, but making sure that as your hands are going around, you're not leaning back or crunching your head forward too much. So you're still really stretching up nice and high, and finding the biggest range of motion that you can. And maybe you need to use a lighter weight, and that's totally okay. Our B move is going to be a front raise into a tricep extension. Really controlling on the way down and on the way up. Obviously, these two moves don't entirely go together. So for the very first time around, we'll do 40 seconds of the halo, and then we'll do 40 seconds of the ventral raise and tricep extension. Grab your weights. We start in 3, 2, 1, haloing it out. So I'm still gonna be down here on my knees. You're just changing the direction each time around. If you're looking for something a little more challenging and you just have one weight, still hanging on to your weight from just one head, you have to be a little bit more careful of your body, but it's a little less, take a break, it's a little bit less stable. So you have to engage your core a little bit more. 3, 2, start down at your lowest point, inhale all the way up, then bend those elbows, tricep extension, up, all the way down. Really control on that way down. Don't let the weight fall back down towards your thighs. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Take a break. It's like you're getting a little intro of what the real move's going to be for your 40-second interval. So we're going to do that halo for 40 seconds, just switching which side, starting right now. So remember, if you want to work a little bit differently, also holding on to just one head of your weight is going to change how far apart your hands are, which might also change the range of motion you find. Pull that belly in nice and tight. Keep knitting those ribs together as well. 3, 2, 1. All right, how about we'll start with those ventral raises next. We'll do ventral raise, halo, and then the extra long ventral raise. You've got 20 seconds of rest, just shake it out. 3, 2, 1. Relax those shoulders down and back. Pull your arms up overhead, bend at the elbows. I notice my right tricep is definitely a little bit weaker than my left. Does anyone else, take a break, notice these things? I blame it on the shoulder surgery I had. All right, coming back to those halos. 3, 2, 1. Keep that chest lifted. Make sure there's no extra arch in your back though. Keeping those shoulders on top of your hips, on top of your knees if you're kneeling, as best that you can. Maybe you have that slight bend in your knees if you're standing. Awesome, take a break. We got one more in this round. Coming back into that front raise, tricep extension for 40 seconds. 3, 2, 1, here we go. So you're not swinging the weight up and you're not swinging the weight down. You're focusing on form and moving with intention right now. Make sure you're still breathing halfway through. Ten seconds left. You are so worth it. If you find you need to take a break during some of these longer sets, that's okay. You take a break and you come right back in. Make sure you're not swinging that weight up overhead though. You made it. Grab that water if you need to. Let me tell you about what's coming up next. You know what? I need a little water too. Okay, we're still stressing out those shoulders. We've got a shoulder to shoulder press. So I really want you to think during this shoulder to shoulder press about finding a much higher reach up overhead than you did for your halo. And if you can, even think about whichever side you're coming to of that elbow, gently starting to reach behind you, a little bit more of a squeeze of your back. That's going to be move number 1. Move number 2 is going to be a weighted chop. So reaching up towards the side, finding that big twist. So not just reaching up towards the side, but twisting that back arm towards the back. And then coming down, you can even bend your knees and reach up. If you're standing, you can find either a nice little squat to the side and then back up overhead, or you can even separate your legs and find a little bit of a side lunge. We will do our first weighted chop to the left. We'll do our second weighted chop to the right. And when we have our 40-second interval, we'll split that one up halfway. So again, just like last time, we'll start with shoulder to shoulder, weighted chop, and then 40 seconds shoulder to shoulder, and then switch it up. 3, 2, begin. Shoulder to shoulder. Pull that belly in tight. Find that big reach overhead. So just like in that Arnold press, you're trying to find that big extension up overhead. But make sure that your weight's not so heavy that as your arm reaches up overhead that you have to arch your back. Take a break. Awesome. Next up, we've got that weighted chop. Whichever side you want to go to first. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to go to the left. I mean, bringing it down towards the left. Find that big reach overhead again. So a lot of big raises in this round. But we're working in control again. So no swinging the weight up towards the top. Take a break. Awesome. Coming back to that shoulder to shoulder press. And then we'll do our opposite direction weighted chop. Begin. Shoulder to shoulder press. This one's our 40-second round. Think about squeezing that elbow down and back of whichever shoulder you're towards. Get a little bit more engagement of that upper body back. Make sure you're not overarching. Keeping that belly in nice and tight. Keeping your head lifted. 10 seconds left. Find that little squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Man, if you're putting that little squeeze in, I'll tell you what, it is more challenging. All right, we're coming to that weighted chop. Opposite side to start this time. I am starting to feel this. All right, we start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I would love to think that you are counting along at home with me when I'm counting. Counting out loud, especially when we're in class, is a great means of a talk test. We're looking to see, can you still talk? Or are you working so hard that you can't even get that conversation going? All right, take your break. Coming back to that shoulder to shoulder, last one. 3, 2, 1, here we go. This is the last move that we're doing today on our knees or standing. We got some planks. We got some ab work coming up on the floor. Some back work too. Man, I wish this workout, take a break, could have gone on for like 6 more sets than what we're doing. 3, 2, weighted chop. Whichever side you choose to start on, you got 20 seconds right here. Should be getting a little bit harder to get that reach up overhead without swinging. Keep it up on this side. 3, 2, 1. Switch it up. Other side, other direction. Really draw your shoulders back behind you as you twist as much as possible. Feel that work in those obliques right here. 3, 2, 1. That's done. Grab some water once again. Think about what weights you're going to want to use for the next round. We've got push-up and rows. And this time we are going to work to combine the move together for our 40-second moves. Okay, so for your push-up, you can do any sort of push-up that you want to. I'm going to modify and be on my knees, and I'm actually going to stay here pretty close to tabletop to really focus on getting my chest down. So I'm doing a bit of a tricep focused push-up. You can decide how close you want your elbows to your side. They can be right by your side for a super tricep focus, or go out a little bit more to work on your shoulders. But this kind is so super hard on your shoulders. So still focus on getting some sort of point of your elbows to the backs of your mat or space. All right, the next move that we're gonna do is a row. I can use this one. So being right here, even if you're still in tabletop, 20 seconds of rowing it out. Really draw that elbow towards the center of your back as much as possible. And for our 40-second move, we've got our push-up, whichever depth you're going for, and then a row. I'm going to do a push-up and row on one side and come back into my push-up. If you want to do a push-up and row on both sides at the same time, you are more than welcome to. This is your workout. Have fun. So let's start off with those push-ups. You can do them on or off the weights. Right now, your choice. We start in 3, 2, 1. Begin. All right, so I'm doing these like little baby push-ups today, and maybe you're like, Jessica, those look like a joke. But I'm gonna be honest with you, this little baby push-up is making me engage my upper body, my arms more than if I was in a V and letting my pubic mound hit down towards the floor first. I'm really focusing on keeping in the chest. Let's come into those rows right now. So just alternating that row, using that exhale, a nice powerful exhale to draw that weight right up by your rib cage and your elbow behind you. Keep your eyes focused down on the floor in front of you. You're still engaging those abs right now, especially, take a break, especially if you're in a full plank. What more power to you. I'll join you again soon. Let's go for that 40-second move. So my hands are on my weights. You've got your push-up, and then I'm doing one row, and then another push-up, and a row. So I'm separating my rows out to make sure that as I do each row, I'm really thinking about my form, of squeezing that elbow towards my spine, of drawing this weight really close towards my rib cage, of keeping my belly pulled in tight, because I know that if I was talking to you guys and doing 2 rows in a row, that my form would really start to suffer. I'd be phoning it in a little. We made it. All right, so we're coming back into just those push-ups. 20 seconds worth. Ooh, good stretching. 3, 2, 1, just those push-ups. So I'm working to bring my chest or my shoulders forward of my fingertips here because I'm in this super modified position. Obviously, I'm not going to get all the way down to the mat, but I feel the burn. Take a break, which is amazing because we have another tricep move coming up right after this. Come on into your rows. Oh, we're going to get those triceps today, you guys. So you're using your breath. Make sure that belly is still pulled in nice and tight right here. Awesome. You know what that means. We get to put it all together one more time. Push-ups and rows begin right now. So having your hand on the weights is also, you know, a little bit of a different challenge of that grip. And as always, you're just doing the best that you can with the body you have today, because your best is always enough. As long as you know that you're really doing your best, you're pushing yourself, not just going through the motions here. If you need to slow it down, if you need to find another modification, you let us know if you need help. Yay! All right, grab some water. We're gonna stay here on the floor. We're gonna start flipping back and forth now. variety of tricep moves. This next round, you know what? We're not using weights anymore. So if you need to move them out of your way to have some space for yourself, oh my gosh, just move these weights. Feels challenging. Okay, all right. We're going for a tricep dip, and then we're going to go for a back tricep pulse, which is the new move I learned last week, and boy do I love to hate it. And that's what I'm gonna use those threes for. All right, so for your tricep dip, you have a couple options just depending on how your body feels today. If you need to take it really easy, you're keeping your glutes on the floor, your fingers are pointed towards your hips, you're just bending your elbows, pressing into your hands, palms to lift up to feel the engagement of your tricep. If you're down to work a little bit harder, you're gonna lift yourself up. You're going to, as you do that tricep, you can even give yourself a little, oh my gosh, I'm tired, a little kick on each side. And I definitely recommend between each of the rounds, take a moment, shake those hands out. Okay, the back tricep move. We've got two different moves. If you have some light weights, bring them along. We're going to extend our hands out in front of us, behind us. Oh my gosh. I'm going to demo without any weights in my hands. You're going to squeeze those shoulder blades together. You can even press the tops of the feet into the floor to get that back engaged. First up, we're just going to pulse up. And the second time we do this, we're going to just pulse in and out. And then when we come back to this move for its 40 seconds, we're going to do a combo of up, in, and down. A little of everything. Okay. Great. Let's start off with those tricep dips. We start in 3, 2, 1. Begin. Tricep dips. Option to add this little kick. You're really just focusing on finding this bend of your elbows towards the back of the room, and then pressing in to the hand palm. Find that lift. Awesome. Turn over onto your belly. If you've got those light weights and you want to hold on to them, palms facing up towards the ceiling, we're just going to come up and down, squeeze those shoulder blades together. So you're coming up and down, but your hands are staying above your bum. Oh yes, now you feel that in your triceps. It's going to be a long 40 seconds, isn't it? 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Turn over onto your butt again. Starting to warm up that back a little bit too for the move we have coming up after this. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Oh, 40 seconds worth of these tricep dip kicks of sorts. I'm having deja vu. We are halfway through. Remember, if you need to modify, if you need to leave that butt down on the floor, you leave that butt down on the floor. And you still focus on finding that bend of your elbows, however big or small it is today. 5 seconds left. Challenge yourself right here, the longest interval of this move. Awesome. Take your break. All right, so coming down onto our bellies. We've got out and in. Out and in and out. All right, 3, 2, 1. So raise it up, and from here, it's just a teeny little pulse. In, out, out. Squeeze those glutes. Press the tops of your feet into the floor. Come back to your breath. 3, 2, 1. Ooh. All right, turn back over. Let's come on back into those dip kicks last time. Begin right now. If you're moving a little slowly through the transitions, that's okay. You just jump in when you can. 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Turn back over onto your belly. One more 40-second round right here. So we're going to come up, in, out. Awesome. Here we go. If that's confusing to you and you want to just pulse it up, I will let you know when we're halfway through. We're halfway through. Oh. For me, this is the hardest move. Oh my gosh, taking a quick break that we've had to do today. 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Yes. All right, we're gonna stay down here on the floor for the next round. Working a little bit more into that back. We've got a back bow pull followed by a mini cobra. So for our back bow pull, blah, 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 we're gonna be starting off with our arms in front of us. Depending on how hard you want to challenge yourself, you can keep your feet on the floor and just focus on working that upper back a little bit more, or get those glutes engaged and lift everything up for your back bow, drawing your elbows towards the center of your back. For our other move, we're going to go for some just little mini cobra flows. So getting your hands, palms in line with your chest. Those are my sweet potatoes. And you're just going to put very little weight or pressure into your hands while still finding a nice just little roll up, controlled roll down. All right, so let's start off with those back bow pulls in 3, 2, 1. My upper body is starting to feel tired. Good. I hope yours is too. We've just got one more move after this, y'all. Use that exhale, find your lift. Awesome, you made it. Get your hands, palms in line underneath of your chest. Press the tops of the feet into the floor, leave them planted there, and begin. Inhale up, exhale down. I'm tucking my chin to my chest. On my inhale up, I'm looking up, leading with my chin on my way down. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Ooh, I'm gonna shake out that tension for a sec. We've got that 40-second back bow pull. 2, 1, begin. So remember, if you need a little bit of a break, just keep the tops of those feet down on the floor. Maybe we're more than a quarter of the way through already. So just keep going, do your best. Remember, focusing on moving in control. That's the big focus today. Eyes down to the floor. 3, 2, 1. Relieve that tension on your back by making a pillow with your hands and just windshield wiping your feet. Ten seconds till we come into our next mini cobra. Bring those hands, palms in line, thumb in line with your nipple, tips of your fingers in line with your shoulders, and begin. Press the tops of the feet into the floor, squeeze the glutes, elbows are stretched towards your hips. Very little weight or pressure in your hands, palms. You're just using the strength and the flexibility that you have. And remember, if you keep practicing something like this, it's only going to improve. Take a break. It's only going to get bigger. Last time through with these back bow pulls. 3, 2, 1. Here you go. Our last move of the day is going to hit those chests one last time, and also work a little bit more into our abs. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. One more little mini cobra flow. 3, 2, get those hands, palms in place, plant your feet, and begin. Still have my shoulder blades squeezed together and rolled down away from my ears the whole time. I'm using my breath as much as possible. That inhale inflates your belly like a balloon and helps you lift up, and that exhale is a gentle deflation. You slowly go down. 3, 2, 1. Yay! Once again, make that diamond shape with your hands and just windshield wipe out any tension that you're feeling in your lower back. We've got our last 2 moves, and then we're just going to stretch it out. We'll be done. 4 more minutes of work. All right, grab your heavier weights for a chest press. Option to get your glutes involved in this last round as well by pressing yourself up into a glute bridge and then getting your chest press. Or if you prefer, you can give yourself a chest fly. Maybe we'll do a little bit of both. Okay, so for your chest press, starting with your hands right here by your chest, really pressing up, that same idea as when we had that Arnold press of really stretching those knuckles up towards the ceiling, finding that extra little squeeze of your chest. Or if you want to go for a fly, you're just going to bring it out a little bit wider, make sure that back stays down on the floor, and then bring your hands palms back together. I think that the chest fly is a little bit more challenging because you have to carefully lower out towards the side. It forces you to engage your abs a little bit more. So think about mixing it up. I know I'm going to mix it up because we don't have time to do extra sets of just the chest press and then the chest fly. And now our middle move is going to be a straight leg crunch. So you can use a weight if you want to work a little bit harder, either going for a single toe tap, or if you want to challenge yourself more, you can give yourself a triple toe tap. Lower yourself down. Extra challenges to go for that big leg lift and drop as well. All right, so your choice, either chest press or chest fly down here on the ground. We start in 3, 2, 1, begin. All right, I'm gonna go for a chest press during these 20-second intervals. Oh, and I'm gonna press myself up into this glute bridge as well. It's gonna help me to strengthen and stabilize that ankle and also work on my glutes. Take a break. All right, coming into those toe taps, either triple toe tap or single toe tap. And if you've got it in you today, add that leg lift in as well. Make sure that lower back stays down on the floor, whichever options you go for. I like this leg lift too because I'm getting an extra overhead lat pullover, which you can still get even if you take a break. Even if you are not going for the leg lift, you can still relax the weight slowly down behind your head. All right, we've got our 40-second move. Pressing up into my glute bridge. This time I'm going to go for the fly so that I still can get 40 seconds of my chest fly work in today, and I can get 40 seconds in of the chest press. Chest, 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 chestica. Oh my God. I live alone and I talk to myself. Now I'm talking to you, but I'm still talking to myself. Can you lift those hips up a little bit higher? Squeeze those glutes. Nice and control. You did it. All right, come into just one weight in your hands. Back to those leg lifts. Find that overhead reach if you can. Oh, we got 10 more seconds. I forgot. I'm so nice. Giving you the extra 10 seconds of break after your 40 seconds of work. Begin. Keep that lower back on the floor. Can you even tap the weight on the floor behind you? Can you find that much range of motion, bringing the weight up over your head? No swinging though. No swinging it back up over your chest. And no letting it just drop behind you. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Woo, woo. One more time through. Chest press or chest fly, your choice. I think we got off with the timing. We're about to find out. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Oh, we did. I'll just go back around. I can't. All right, 20 seconds of work. Lift up into that glute bridge if you got it. Take a break. Now we got our 40 seconds to get through. Ignore all the beeps because time is off. 3, 2, 1, begin. Single or triple toe tap. Keep it up, you guys. You're doing awesome. Do you feel that burn? Keep going, halfway. Can you tap that weight over your head as you bring it up and over? Nice and slow. Ten seconds left from right here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're done. Yay! That was awesome. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I hope it wasn't as bad as you thought it would be either. Grab yourself a quick little sip of water. We'll hang out right down here on the floor. We'll start to come into some stretches. All right, so right down here on the floor, I want you to just open your chest, engage your back one last time. Find some nice open and close. Some nice deep breaths right here. Great. Then we're going to go ahead, whichever arm is on top. Bam! Go ahead, take a hold of it. I have my right arm crossing in front of me. I want you to actually work to bring that right shoulder forward as much as possible. Getting a nice little stretch in the rhomboid if you can. Finding a little bit of separation of those shoulder blades. Even drawing that belly in. Right now, keeping those abs engaged. And change, open it up nice and wide. Go ahead, get the other side. Just not pulling directly on the elbow, pulling right above that area. Pulling that belly in too. Great, change. Inhale those arms up overhead. Exhale, relax them by your side. 2 more times. Inhale up overhead. Exhale by your side. 1 more time. Inhale up overhead. Go ahead, bend your right arm. Reach your right arm back towards, your right hand towards the shoulder if you can. Find as much of a reach as you can. You can even find a nice stretch on your side by leaning over to the left. Try not to collapse your chest down towards the floor though. Stay as open as you can be. Just a couple more deep breaths right here. If you took this nice big lean on your next inhale, lift yourself back up to center, stretch both fingertips up towards the ceiling, reach through your fingers. Find a little engagement through that side body in that rib cage. Now let's go ahead, bend the left hand fingertips and reach those left hand fingertips over towards the left shoulder as much as you can. Getting that nice big stretch on our triceps. Keep that chest lifted if you want to find that extra stretch through your side. Remember, each side of the body is not the same, so what might have seemed really easy and attainable on one side might seem a lot more challenging on the other. Take 2 more big breaths right here. And then you're going to use that next inhale to lift yourself up. Stretch your fingers back up towards the ceiling. Go ahead, bring those hands down in front of you. Whatever kind of seated position that you have right here, we're just going to find a stretch from right here. So start to walk those hands forward, but walk your hands forward at first with a nice open engaged back. No collapsing just yet. So fingertips press into the floor, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Really feel that mid-lower back engaged. And then if your back is feeling good, if it's feeling comfortable for you, then you can round down, maybe even bring those elbows or your head towards the floor. Find the stretch that feels good for you. Make sure your sit bones are still planted though. If you still want more of a stretch in those shoulders, walk your fingers forward. I have my fingertips tented and I'm pressing them into the floor, and I'm going to walk my hands all the way over to the left side. Once again, bringing a nice stretch into that left side body. If you want, you can even relax your left hand on the floor and inhale that right arm up overhead. Change, walk yourself all the way over to the right, and you can hang out right here with one palm pressing into the other, or you can find that bigger stretch. Awesome. Sit yourself up. Go ahead, bring your hands behind you. Take a little bit of a reverse plank for a second. So fingertips in the direction of your glutes. We're going to keep our hips planted, but I want you to squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your eyes, nose, chin up towards the ceiling. If you want to come even deeper into this one, you can squeeze your glutes, lift your hips up off the floor, press your flat feet down into the mat. Stretch your head behind you as much as feels comfortable. And change slowly, gently lower yourself down. Tuck those knees in. Let's take a moment, come back into tabletop. Give yourself a couple relaxing cat-cows and shimmy shakes. We are all out of time today, you guys. Thank you so much for coming and making this time for yourself, for an awesome upper body, chest, shoulders, getting a little back in there, still finding some time for our abs and our glutes. Find any extra stretches that you find work for your body today. If not, you can tuck those toes under. Take a moment in the dangle. Breathe deeply into your upper back. It worked hard today. And when you're ready, slowly, gently roll yourself up. Take a deep inhale, stretch all the way up towards the ceiling. That's right, I drink well with others, but what I'm drinking these days is water. So I hope you guys are too for the rest of the day. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out. Have a wonderful Monday, or whatever day you watch this video.